For this is a man who is all business. If Jai Opetaia had his way, he'd just go straight into the fight. There would be no workouts, there'd be no interviews, no press conferences. We would be at Saturday night already. He's got an intensity about him. He is seen by many as the best cruiserweight in the world, and he's also got a record of bashing up Brits, if we're honest, Andy.
He does. He was very impressive against Jordan Thompson. He knocked out Ellis Zorro in the first round with that long left hand. It was a rougher ride against Breedis, but we were down at the gym earlier, and as I mentioned, and I wanted to get to the bottom of what happened there towards the end of the fight, so I asked his manager, and he said what happened was in the 10th, Breedis caught him with the head, and he broke his nose, and there was a lot of blood. So some of it comes out the end of the nose, but a lot of it could go the other way, and it hits the back of your throat, and then you have to swallow it. And there could be a lot of it. So all of a sudden, you can't breathe out of your nose because it's full of blood. And you can't really breathe out of your mouth either because you're swallowing all the time. And all of a sudden, you've got a massive problem. And so that's why he gassed the way that he did the last few rounds. He felt like he was drowning from what Mick Francis told me. So that kind of clears that up. So he's been through a lot in that ring, a double jaw break and something like that. You know, these are things you have to handle.
But he gets through it, and he's unbeaten. He's a two-time IBF champion. He's just got something about him. His interviews, as you mentioned, Ezra, is so intense. A bit like yourself. Some of your interviews, you can start going a bit deep and really get intense. Just means so much.
It means a lot, and you can see it. You can see how he performs, but you can also hear it from his words. And like I said, that's why I can relate to it, I believe, 100%, because as you can see, he goes in there, no emotion. And that's what you're meant to do when you go in the ring, no emotion, and he displays spiteful performances every single time he gets in the ring. You know it's going to be exciting. You know he's got mad skill, and you know he's a handful. And I feel like he'll prove a handful for any cruiserweight out there. And even when he does get hurt, broken nose, Andy, like you said, broken jaw, he still prevails and pushes on. That's a hard man to fight in that ring.
Do you know what's been interesting, Matt? Of course, there's Chris Billum-Smith against Ramirez next month. And media, YouTube guys have been trying to ask Jai Opetaia about it. He just keeps saying, I don't care. I don't know why you're asking me.
Yeah, he doesn't care now. He'll care on Sunday morning, and that'll be the fight he wants, then the winner, absolutely. But, he doesn't want to lose his focus, and it's easy done. You know, people start talking up fights, you start getting back into it, and it does shift your focus. So, complacency is one of the most difficult things to guard against because it creeps in subconsciously. So, that's pretty smart to shut down those conversations. Look, we seen him train earlier. He probably did about 10 rounds. Clearly a guy not struggling with weight when you're doing that on a Wednesday before a fight. This is just a little bit of a show for the workout here, but yeah, look, he looks razor sharp. Look, Massey has earned this shot. He deserves this shot. He'll give it an almighty go. But if this man's on song, could be a hard night.
Well, we may also be looking at a potential future opponent of the main event on Saturday. Bivol, Beterbiev. Should they win this fight, they may well venture up to cruiserweight. We know that it's a fight that His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has talked about. I like the sound of that. I mean, Beterbiev has certainly got the size.
I was going to say certainly Beterbiev because he's coming down to make light heavy. Bivol, not so sure. He's a comfortable light heavy. There was even talk one time that he could maybe do super middle. So I think if Beterbiev wins, then that's more likely that fight could happen.
And what a fight that would be. And it just feels like it's all possible with Riyadh season. Look, Ezra, you've been watching on for the last year, really, as a fan, and sort of hoping to get in there. I'm sure you'll be in there before long. But what Riyadh season's done, the events for boxing, it's been incredible.
It's amazing, man. I can't lie to you. And then again, being here and seeing it firsthand in the flesh on what it can do for people, for the team, the dreams that can come true from doing it. It's an amazing thing. And again, I think there's every boxer sitting at the end of the seat wanting to get their teeth in, right? But you got to earn your shot at the big stage, and right now this is the big stage. It doesn't even matter if it's a world title shot or not. It's like winner stays on, and by rights, Jai Opetaia came in, he done his thing, and he's the winner that's staying on right now. So when it comes Saturday night, everything can change. There's a lot of moving parts in boxing right now, but it's moving for the right reasons, and it's good to be a part of it.
Tell you what though, Jai Opetaia is not overlooking Jack Massey. Listen to any interview, he believes it's going to be a tough fight. He knows Jack Massey is coming to fight. I'm hearing all the right noises about him not overlooking Massey.
I don't think there's really any chance of that, because when you spend a little bit of time around him and you speak to people who spend 24 hours a day around him, he lives his life, every second of it, with the same intensity that he brings to his boxing. That's just how he is in every single thing that he does. Now, it strikes me as being utterly exhausting to live your life that way, but he can do it. He's comfortable doing it. So he will be obsessing about Jack Massey at the minute. That's his dad in the ring there with him, by the way, Tapu. So he's trained him since he was a kid, and then he trained him as a pro until the fight before the first Breeders' fight. And then Mark Wilson came in. Something happened. There was some kind of falling out, I can only assume. They don't really want to go into it. And now he's back for the first time since then. And they're going to see how it goes. It's not necessarily going to remain in stone going forward, but it's father-son relationships in boxing. Some have been really successful, but they're rarely straightforward.